What's up, everybody? Hopefully we're live, we're good, you can hear me, everything's fine. It has been already a crazy night of just nonsense. This is like my 5th YouTube video we're going to try. The others were pre-recorded. And then no internet. So I wanted to kind of talk while everyone's getting tuned in here live. I'm going to trade on I'm going to add this in my TOS account too. I just bought, while we're looking at on the screen, the S&P futures. So let's go. All good? Perfect. So shout out to everybody that is subscribed to Don Fraud Trading. If you guys got the notifications, that video did not have audio. So it seems like my computer today was like just one thing, like a domino. But like not a whole stack of dominoes, just like one at a time. So I gotta get something fixed. Something else is going wrong. Alright, anyway. So I'm long futures right now. I was kind of hoping for like a green Monday, red Tuesday, FOMC, Fed rate hike decision Wednesday. We send it. So it's 2 p.m. Eastern. It's 1 p.m. Central. So it's 2 hours before close. The closing bell, the Fed rate hike decision. And first of all, like the two things are like there's a pause or 25 basis points. I honestly don't know how anybody could even think pause. So I'll actually be surprised if I'm wrong on that one. I think it's 25 basis points. Like I'm 100% in the 25 basis points sector choice. If I'm throwing darts, 25 basis points. Yeah, I've not heard one single argument for why a pause would even be on there. Anyway, 55 basis points or negative 25. Anyone who was short beforehand, probably going to be all right. Grab puts in whatever, short the market, whatever vehicle there is, probably going to pan out. So that's kind of how I see that overall working out. And what I want to look for is Tuesday, they sell off. They bring it down. Tinfoil head or not, like I think somebody wants cheap calls. Let me try that again. I'm hoping somebody wants cheap calls. Yeah, so they just run it down Tuesday. And what really is going on is there's a lot of institutions and banks that just don't want to trade that volatility. So they'll close positions down prior to it, and you'll see red. And I'm sure there'll be a news story or something in the headlines as to why we sold off. Does Tier 1 Patreon only have links for SPX and NASDAQ? No, whenever I make the link, it's whatever it is probably currently on. You can type in whatever you want. You have to save the layout. But then you can type in whatever ticker you want. If I have a drawing on there, you'll have it. It's a huge one. So if you have my trading link, you have everything I've ever drawn on. And if you are curious about that, that is the Patreon link down below. That is Tier 1 or YouTube members, they get it too. Or my mentorship, they obviously have it. You don't think they won't pause due to banks collapsing? What banks are actually collapsing? Let's talk about that for a second. Then we'll kick it off with the stream. We'll go over the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. We can take a peek at Bitcoin. That has just been on fire lately. So we'll see what the dollar's up to. But as far as I don't think this is a banking crisis anymore. I think this is a hostile takeover, right? Regional banks getting smoked, and I think they're just getting bullied out of their position. This is like Elon coming in and buying Twitter. Like he's like they're coming for blood right from the beginning. No, I don't think that's going to make the Feds pause. That's it. There's the big four, and I think they're just clean sweep. Like they're just taking over. Straight alien invasion mode, like taking over all the regionals. That's it, because they're seeing with this fear. And you even heard Yellen, if you guys were watching her give her little speech, they're not backing up everybody. They're only backing up like certain ones, and it's really creating this fear because everybody knows like, hey, if I go to a big bank, I don't have to worry about that. And Feds aren't really supporting these smaller banks. So why would you be at a smaller bank? And these smaller banks are just getting in trouble. The more they do that, the more trouble they're going to be in. And then it just kind of just leads to this death spiral. So that's why I think they're just letting this thing go. There's something definitely going on in the banking industry. And I'm sure crypto people are all over this. But I don't think you'd have to go very far down the rabbit hole to understand why crypto might have kicked a lot of this off. I don't know. I guess... let's say there's a battle between crypto and banks. Right now, banks need to get their ducks in a row. Like, we don't need any stragglers. We don't need any, like, little, anyone messing up our plan. We stick to the big four. We only get the big guns, and then we go to war. So I don't know. The more I hear about this bank stuff, the more I think they are doing this on purpose. Like, and I know that get into some very tinfoil hat stuff. And I'm not an economist, guys, and nor do I own a bank. I never plan on having a charter, but I would hate to be in a regional bank right now. And I don't care about people that are playing like regional banks. Is it KER or KRE? KRE. There's a regional bank ETF. Yeah, regional banking ETF. I've been asked a lot, like, hey, what would you buy this bank or would you buy that bank? Honestly, I wouldn't buy any of them, and that hasn't changed. It's been my answer the whole time. But I would stick to this ETF. Let's say one bank just gets completely smoked. If you're in that one, that's you. Those are your people. You're gone. Where if you were to at least get this ETF, a couple of other regionals, they're okay. The one gets smoked. That's gonna look like a red day versus your account looks like a magic trick, and it just disappeared. Nothing about that chart looks good. I do get a lot of people want to just go in because I think it's a big deal. A lot of times when things sell off, it's not a sale, right? Sold off for a reason. Take the cars. Prices went up. As inventory got less, the demand just went up. You had to have one, so prices went up. There's a lot of it. There's just a lot. If you just look at the supply and demand aspect of it, the reason why it's selling off is because no one wants to buy it. So why are you so gung-ho to get right up there front of the line and say, I'll take it? Because you're not Elon. And you can't really buy up these banks. And have you seen some of the deals these banks are trying to get? Like, yeah, I'll buy out that bank, but here's the deal you're going to have to give me. 1, a penny on the dollar. 2, the feds are going to have to just guarantee I'm not going to lose. Like, every deal so far for these regional banks for these buyouts, I would do it. Sounds safe. It's the only way they're doing it. They're even trying to talk, who's the old guy? Warren Buffett. They're trying to talk him into buying it, or at least just saying he'll buy a bank to just to kind of ease things up a little bit. So short KRE. I gotta be honest, guys. It's in the spotlight, and I don't like the spotlight. Spotlight's there for some volatility. It's something you probably don't want to be selling options in. You want to be a buyer in. If you catch the right move, you're going for it. So if I was going to play this, I'd keep it small. I would rather let the volatility work for me. So when there is volatility versus regular, like if you spend the same amount, yeah, that volatile one is going to pay. But I like to look at it as I could spend so much less and make the same amount if the volatility does work in my favor. And if it goes against me, I only lost a little bit. And that's how I would keep this. Any option plays would be risk and capital, which means there's no stop loss plan. There's no nothing like that. As in, I'm going to buy this options contract. It's going to zero or it's making me money. Full stop. That's my management. That's it. So personally, you're not going to hear me talk about going short this. I laugh because my mentorship group sometimes like to talk me into plays. Because we all get on it and I feel left out. I feel very peer pressured into it. So it's kind of like the opposite of front running, where they get me to do things. 99% chance I'm not going to be playing this. So anyway, back to the banks. I think they are getting run down. I think I'm this close to saying we're just getting started. They're coming in and trampling these guys. Think of it like a tank versus a smart car. And they're deciding, should we use the cannon up top or let's just keep it efficient and use the treads on the bottom and run them all down. What do you guys think, though? Let's kick it off with the stream now. Please work. Okay. My internet's already having trouble. It's like, I have to have a tech come out here and look at this. I get a new router. It lasts like 3 months. Like my router / modem is up there just cooking right now. Alright, so as far as the dollar goes, it did gap down, pushed up. We're selling off right now, so the markets are pushing up. I would watch out for the dollar right here. Typically when we raise rates, you'll see a pop in the dollar. So many Forex people, Wednesday you'll likely see a pop there. A pause would send the dollar down. Possibly would be pretty green for the markets. But we'll see. I think kind of regardless whether it's a pause or 25 basis points, we're going to see a rally. That's why I would really just want us to sell off on Tuesday so I can buy that dip. So right now, I'm not in any Forex plays. Did I already discuss Credit Suisse? No, what about them? Never mind. I am in a dollar Forex play. Wow, I nailed that. Not to brag. I went long the Euro USD. I'm in at 1.0555. Hang on. And if you look at the hourly, I'm on a wick. Yeah, so I got into this zone, and we just went for it. I'm going to put my stop right below this wick right here. Oh, the wick I got in on? Oh, yeah. Sorry, not this wick. This zone. Yeah, so if you look at the numbers right there, 1, 0, 5, 5, 5. It's my exact entry. Banging. Alright, so I'm going to put my stop in the green. It's 174 pips away right now. We're going to move that up to 30 pips away, so 1065. Stop in the green. So as long as it keeps going up, I'll stay on the gain train. If it turns around, that'll tag me out. And that is how I trade everything. Put my stop in the green, and I trail it. There's no such thing as managing a red trade. You get in it, goes against you. Sorry, sucks. But when it's a green trade, get every dollar you can out of that. I don't just sell at some numbers. I know some people do. Like, they like to scale out 50, 25. Like they always up to 25%, so they'll scale out half, or, you know, whatever their numbers are. I haven't found that way to be effective. I found that, honestly, very silly. When you think about it, let's say something goes to the moon. It's gone this far. You just cut off half your position. Okay? Keeps going. You take another half. Now you're 75% out of your original position. By the time it boils down, you've taken so much off, you're rocking just one share, and it's going to the moon. Where I like to look at it, I'll just rock my whole position. And when it turns around, I'll turn around. You know, I'll get out. So I found that to be far more effective for me. So that's all you'll see me do is just move my stop up. When it tags on to the next one. So that is a short the dollar play. Hopefully the dollar burns that zone. And as far as breaking that zone, it kind of looks all right. Because we hit that zone, lower high, we're here again. We got plenty of room to put another lower high before that zone just absolutely fails. But we're seeing Bitcoin clearly get hedged against the dollar. This is what has me excited about Bitcoin. I have not added to Bitcoin yet because I want to wait. If you are new to just following me in general, I don't trade crypto. I buy it. For a while there, I turned off Ethereum. But long story short, I buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I put money in a savings account. Same amount every week. Like I said, Ethereum got shut off. It's back on now. Anyway, I do that, so when it does dip, I take the savings account, chunk it all in. Keeps my averages low, keeps everything rocking and rolling. I think that beats just dollar cost averaging 9 million times over. You know, because everyone will just dollar cost average. Let's say you just keep the same amount, like clockwork. You're going to dial in your price eventually, and it's not going to move. So by doing it the way I do, I found like when things really dip and you chunk in, it drops. So that just takes like dropping the kitchen sink on your average price and brings it down. So full send. Hopefully the dollar does crash, but I would prefer Bitcoin pull back. That'd be great. I can't believe we were talking about this 30K mark, but that's coming up. We're a little bit away from there. So really, this weekly zone up here is where I expect to see the until the dip keeps dipping. Yeah, but so Jake knows this all too. He's one of my admins. One red day for me is not a dip buy. When the bears show up, I will say something that probably has attributed a lot to my success is just going with the flow. When the bears show up, I don't have that knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people have because that can get you in a lot of trouble. When the volatility is there, maybe it's an earnings play, you want to jump in there and play Super Trader, that's not a bad idea. Or I guess it can't be bad. It can't be good. You know, you'll have your good days and bad days with that. But what happens when they turn that ship around and the bears show up? I'd let them do their thing. Have full reign. Go for it, Winnie the Pooh. I'll bring an extra honey jar. The further that goes, the cheaper I get to buy. So I will say that probably comes a lot more with experience, but I promise, if you just chill out, spend a little bit more time with your feet up on your desk, and just let the bears do their thing. If you're looking for a dip buy, let the bears do their thing. That will just play out tremendously. Big banks must be laughing. Big banks are probably loving this. They're absorbing everybody. All right. As far as the Russell goes. So we took this trade Thursday. Anyway, still in that. Friday. Pretty sure it was Friday. Yeah, yeah, there was Friday because this today's canceled. So this one's obviously rocking and rolling. Man, should I move my stop up? Give me 1 second, guys. Actually, for now, I don't want a green trade going red. So my stop is still down here. There's my entry. Here's my stop. So here's what I'm going to do. When I open my app, all I'm going to see is a line right there on the chart, right? So I'm going to click, drag, let go. That's going to be that. That's where I'm going to put my stop. I don't really care about the price. I'm more worried about this. See how we pushed up and we based out right here? I'm going to watch that for a little bit because the bear showed up. They didn't get anywhere. I like that. So for me to tag out, that story needs to change. Swung TNA for this play. Oh, nice. Hopefully we're still green. You know, as far as the bears out there, you can't really get upset. There's a lot of time before the stock market opens. And as far as the bulls go, you know, easy on the popping bottles right now because, like I just said, there is a lot of time before the stock market opens, which is why I do like trading futures because I'm trading right now. I don't need to play the is it going to gap up or down game. But hang on, give me 1 second. Let me put my stop up there real fast. I'm pretty pumped about that Forex play. I totally forgot about that. Honestly, I would have managed that much sooner had I known. I'm in a little baby contract. I'm not in a lot. And I'm only in a few. I'm only in 5 MES contracts, too. So I'm only up a few $100s for the open. All right, we're good. All right, so this is really throwing some darts out there, but we rock and roll this thing. Make it to here Monday. Tuesday, we sell off into the blue. Wednesday, full send. I don't think we make it above that zone until after FOMC. And if that's right, I'm going to clip this, tell everybody I called it. They say it's impossible to time the market. We'll see. Only 5? Come on. I know. I don't know why. Like I went just hard on just ES because I was doing I was doing 10 MES contracts. Like, well, I'll just do 1 ES. It's fine. Well, I was doing like 5, then I'd add 5, and I would just do it multiples of 5. But then I tried doing like ES, and then I would add 5 MES. I haven't done it just where I'm just rocking a bunch of just ES contracts. I like to just build that as we go. So now I'm back down to doing like 5, 5, and 5. So far, the most I've had at once is 20. Sometimes it's better be lucky than be good. I don't know how to take that. I gotta be honest. I would never want to go up to someone and say, "Hey, I do this for a living. I'm lucky." They're like, "Oh, all right." So, congrats on the win streak, I guess. You know, it's about as awesome as somebody hitting the jackpot at the casino. Like, I'm happy for you. But like the second that guy starts telling me how to hit the jackpot, you know, I'm out. Like, oh, cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go check out the cookies that they got. Oh, I think it's funny because you think 5 is small. I do 1 to 4. I'm a small fry. Oh, 5 is small for me. No, and it's because I know people with real money. This is only going to make it worse. I am not even a minnow in this sea. Not even a puddle. So I got my short entry up here. So we're fine there. As far as the expected moves, it did take you guys a couple trips, but if you were on Don Fron trading, I had to do the video. The second one's only 3 minutes long, so it's a lot easier just flashing through everything. I don't know why this happens all the time. Like an expected move will line up with like a zone of mine or something, but it does line up with the bottom. So, and when I was drawing that out, I was just very curious, like that gut feeling. Are we gonna send it right here? Because I'm buying the Russell when it gets down there, regardless. But I can't imagine what bad news we're gonna have to send us there. Like banks are gonna just rock us right to that level. Last time it was updated on September the last year. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hang on, I'll just do it right now. Let me know if this works out for you. So I'm posting it right now. Get back to the live stream. Fed 25 basis points Wednesday? I think so. There's even a few in my chat that really think we're going to pause. Again, I can't even imagine what they would do. Thanks a lot. Best chart ever. I appreciate that. I think so too. I'm kind of biased though. Ooh, should I be long tech? Tech has just been roaring. I don't know why I'm jacking around in ES right now. I need tech to get above there. Tech will be probably the most sensitive one to the rate hikes that goes on this week. I gotta say, I'm probably, if we were to make it up to here, I think I'm gonna take that short place. If you see me catching a knife, I might short tech right into that zone. If we make it here Monday, again, I'm thinking Monday's green. Tuesday we see the people taking their positions off, the sell off, the oh no FOMC's tomorrow. We sell off, and I'm hoping that's going to be the dip buy. You know, Wednesday morning is going to be nothing. You're in the first 30 minutes of the market, and then just nothing. Probably you and a couple traders from LPP. You know, that'll be it. Everyone else is just going to wait for the announcement. So that's why most of our action is going to be Monday and Tuesday. With a glad forthcoming comes a sad downfall. What are you getting with that? I like that saying, but then you're angry Don is your name. I don't know if I like that name or not. I think people who say zero chance of pausing this meeting don't have a mortgage or see what's going on with these banks. I have a couple, and I do see what's going on with these banks. Probably a little bit past the surface level, which is where I would probably give you some pushback on. Maybe we just look past the headlines real quick and the normal news you're reading. I'll say it again. Zero chance of pausing. You know, and if I'm wrong, so be it. You know, who cares? But that's kind of where I'm at. I wouldn't short tech. I think I'd rather wait for a pullback, though. I forgot why this is my username. I mean, I like it. I feel like I need another YouTube channel just called Angry Don, and I can just rant all day. And if you don't like my rants, you just don't subscribe to that channel, but I just go in and say whatever I want. I'm going to wait. I thought about buying the NASDAQ too, but I think I am going to wait. Am I bullish or bearish right now? I'm actually long the Russell and the S&P right now. If they pause, markets dump, inflation would go bananas. I don't know if the markets would dump on a pause. I agree with the inflation part, and that's not something they want to do or even jack with, like they've said 900 times. Peter Griffin. All right, I'm gonna move on. I thought maybe if I just stared this a little bit longer, I'd want to buy it. On that note, that's a very dangerous thing a lot of new traders do. Merlin said this a lot too. He said if you stare at a chart long enough, it'll tell you what you want it to, and that's exactly it. Because you look at it, and what your brain is doing is just looking for any pattern you can get to just say that's got to be it. When really it was just you staring at this thing forever, and you just convince yourself it was a play, and you're just gonna be surprised later when it's wrong. Qs, that's just the expected move. S&P, we're long right now. I was going to short up here. For now, I'm not. We took a short play last week, and that panned out awesome. Right now, I'm long, just playing the little back and forth game. So right now, I think for the time being, we probably found all the sellers we're going to find right here. So I am thinking a little bit higher. Hopefully we pull back. If what I want to see, picture perfect, just know that I made a bunch of money if this happens. Anything else, I don't say it to be cocky. Anything else, I'll have to like deviate. It'll be real-time decisions. Mentorship group will be the ones that know about it. Then I just end up talking about it in a YouTube video later. We get above this, hopefully ideally to this blue. Tuesday's the sell-off before the announcement. Pushes us right back into that zone, and we can go long right there. Don's rant channel, YouTube channel, would start with target practice with routers and internet equipment. It would. With a special round made of uranium. Peter Griffin had a show on in Family Guy where he started out with, "What really grinds my gears?" You guys want to hear me just complain all day? Because I could probably make those videos. What would be the channel name? The good news is you'd probably never have to worry about an ad on that video. Not a single one. All right, let's do a couple tickers real quick. What are you guys thinking? You guys bullish or bearish? Let me hear your thoughts. You've heard my thoughts. Let me hear yours now. And I come off almost cocky or arrogant at times. I'm just telling you my opinions, my thoughts. There's a million ways to do this. Let me rephrase that. There's a few ways to do this. There's a million ways to do it wrong. I think I've just found one of the few ways to do it. Tesla. What are we doing leaps? I'm telling you. We are rejecting the zone right now, like unless this week sends it. Jake, I'm going to be patient. I need Tesla to melt down. I want Elon to announce he's going to sell some shares and buy a bank, a regional bank. Hopefully Warren Buffett says no, he's not going to buy any of the regional banks. So then Biden has to turn to Elon. Like, Elon, please, we'll help you out. We'll maybe ignore a couple of your tweets in the future. Tosses him a spicy deal, makes Elon a deal he can't refuse. He's got to sell some shares. Sends it right here to that 140 mark, then we go for it. It's Don's way or no way. You say that a lot. There's no highway option. I'm bearish. We've got half a year of bleed left. What's your time frame on being? Because I'm bullish right now, but I'm probably a shorter time frame. When someone says bearish, I guess we got to clear this up. Bearish as in we hit this lower zone before we hit this upper zone. If you tell me you're bullish, ooh, I don't even know if I have an answer for that. I was going to say, tell me you're bullish if you think we're hitting up here. Tell me you're bearish if you think we're hitting right here. And I can't do that. So I can't ask you guys to give me that because even I don't know. Don Unchained. Neutral. Going to see how the market reacts to UBS grabbing CS. Okay. You think they're actually going to grab them? That deal they made was... I mean, honestly, if UBS said no, the deal the UBS is going to get, like I said, I would buy it for that. Like, that'd be fantastic. Just waiting for some random bio to run 500% a day before I get excited about day trading again. Well, I'll pull up an NVIDIA. Just don't buy Mullen. It pisses him off. I learned the hard way. My rant on Mullen, guys, and cheap BS stocks is I've watched so many people. First of all, so many people come into this market and they buy penny stocks because they're cheap. They want to start off easy. It's one of the hardest ones to trade. And ultimately, I look for, who are my buyers, who are my sellers. That's why I trade the same stuff over and over again. It's Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Google, Nvidia. All of those are not going to say we're going bankrupt tomorrow. Like, do you know how shocking that would be? What would have to happen for something like that to happen? I want to just take that worry right off the charts. Mullen. You're biting your nails. Cheap penny crap like that, it sucks. If it pumps, is there even going to be someone to sell it to? I like the stuff I trade has headlines coming out all the time, and that's what gets somebody to buy my shares at the top. I like it. That's why I just, when people, it's like, I'm long this, I'm like, cool. If you tell me you're long a penny stock, it's because, and you're down to play hot potato, and that's what you say, I'm down this because it's a pump and dump. I'm 100% okay with that. When you tell me you're long Mullen because they're going to make a car or something, like you start telling me fundamental reasons why you're going to be in this for the next 6 days, No, then I do have a problem with that because you're asking to lose money. There's over 6,000 tickers. Why wouldn't you just buy literally any one of those other ones? Is Nvidia finally come down? So I took this trade Friday with you guys. So I actually sold the 270. It was the 278s. Sold the 278s, bought the 280s. So I needed Nvidia to come down. I told you guys it's already green, but I might close that Tuesday. I'm not gonna let a green trade go red. What's the scoop on 300 billion added to the Fed balance sheets? In theory, shouldn't the markets rally because of liquidity injection? Right now, the markets are, I mean, if you're bullish, you're going to look at that as, oh yeah, we're going to rally. Why are the markets in the trouble we're in right now? The literal inflation that caused. So even bulls have to sit back and question, like, hey, you guys said we're getting inflation under control. That's not how you do it. What's up? Because that's going to show up in the next one of the, so all these indicators are lagging, and is that going to show up in a lagging indicator later? All of a sudden there's going to be an inflation fear again, and then full sin. Yeah, the bulls got their little scoop of ice cream and then found out they were diabetic a month later. I got some tin. NQ pulls back and SPY goes up, but my idea on SPY is 50-50. So tech pulls back, SPY goes. Why would tech pull back and SPY goes up? Because so if you guys haven't, how I just explained it to you, so we got the S&P is going to be like some, we'll call it a teenage, 10-year-old boy, girl, whatever it is. Mom and dad are going to be the NASDAQ and the Russell. Obviously, Russell's the dad. Whatever, you can get whatever gender they are, whatever sex they are, you pick the two. Imagine they're both getting divorced and they're both are trying to coax the kid to come live with them. So what I'm saying is, like, if the NASDAQ is going down, but the S&P is rallying, you're going to look at IW and the Russell, and probably the financials. They're probably just in send it mode so much that it's countering the weight from the NASDAQ going down and just bringing the S&P with it. So for the NASDAQ to be going down and the S&P going up, like, what happened to the banks to really send it? Then to come in to say, oh, just kidding, after a long weekend and a couple drinks, we found out there's no risk at all. Because that's probably what have to happen, but then you'd probably see NASDAQ going up with it. Do I have any open positions in the Russell? Yeah, I took them on Friday, and I just did it on this stream. So here's my actual trade. Any trades I do on stream, I'll leave up here, or like with my mentorships if you see these scattered around. So went long. This is Friday. That was my stop loss. This is my new stop loss. And I put it right below this this base right here. So as soon as we get above that blue, I'll scoot it up under the blue. And I'm in that and the S&P right now. Speaking of Nvidia, give you a final answer on that. I sold these options contracts. We rejected that zone. If the markets are rallying, I doubt this is pulling all over. Like, it probably wouldn't be a bad dip buy for Nvidia right down here. So I'm going to add an alert right there. I doubt we get there, though. Did we go over Tesla? I might have ADD'd my way through it. Last week, we jumped up into that zone. So far, rejected. We hit the expected move. Rejected. So can't really be happy about that. Can't really be bullish till it gets above. There's a difference in buying it at 184 right here and 184 after it pushes up and pulls back, kind of hits that zone again. That, in my opinion, would be a much better buy. If I was going to front run the risks, I thought I was going to be bullish Tesla. My stop would be 175.45, which is it's okay. Tesla could probably tag that in 5 minutes, but I feel like that's enough wiggle room for me to just do it because there's no way I'd want to just give that a long leash right now. Because right now, bear flag or reversal, you know, they both look the same. But when a bear flag lines up like that with my zone right there, like that does, as much as I'm bullish to markets, that alone right there looks like I should be short Tesla. You guys know my track record with Tesla, so haven't done it yet. Yeah, and earlier someone asked, when it was my admin, when are we going to buy Leaps? I think he's just chomping at the bit to buy Leaps. He's in Meta and Microsoft Leaps, which are my two favorite for the year, which are banging, and right now they're up. Tesla, honestly, I think we can afford to wait just a tad bit longer. Man, sometimes I type. Still have my Tesla puts that are just melting. Yeah, you need some excitement there. What do you think about Netflix? I rejected that zone. I would go long this, kind of playing these higher lows right here. If I'm in shares, 284. You know, I would give it all the way down here. 284.85 would be my stop. So I'm not going to take this, but just to show you guys what I would do, I would go along here. My stop would be right there. My take profit would be right here, which I would hope makes it to this zone right here. So how that would pan out was once we get up here, I would put my new stop in the green. Hopefully we've thrown off some wicks. I don't just move it right there second it hits that. Hopefully we base out here, and if we base out and don't instantly reject, then I'm looking to add on right here. Now I won't rock 500 shares up and 1,000 shares down, so that stop, they stay tight. There's no wiggle room once I move that stop up, and I would hope that that trade pans out like that. All right, let's do one more real fast. Hang on, I thought I saw Armin talking about. I know I just said one more. We're gonna breeze through these real quick. I need Microsoft to push back, like pull back. Like, don't you guys know Bill Gates was just putting microchips in the vax? Yeah. You want to own that stock? You better sell all your shares. Why don't you hook a magnet up to where you or a piece of metal? What were people doing? Putting a piece of metal to them? Obviously, I'm just kidding. I just want every excuse I could put out in the markets to get Microsoft to pull back. I own it. It's my favorite one. So Meta and Microsoft are my favorite for the year. And right now, I think I legitimately have FOMO that I just need more. So it would suck to watch my money go down, but I'm about that right now. All right, as far as Meta, that's my alert to buy more Meta, because I don't think we're going to get down to this zone. So I was talking with my midship group about, so let's just put in some awkward, like higher low right here. That'll be like a old resistance, new support, some day trader will say. As long as the buyers show up, don't care. That's where I want to buy more. Yeah, Amazon and Google. I'm going to look at those two real quick. Futures account is up 5%. Nice. God. I don't even recognize it. It's like when your spouse comes home after they cheated on you, like, I don't even recognize you anymore. I feel cheated on after Amazon split. Like, I would get a package at the door, the box is smiling, I'm smiling, I just made 20 grand on an options contract. Now, I can just kick that package off my front door. Hate Amazon for what they did to me. I guess I would be... First of all, I would ask why this one over some of the other tech tickers. I think they're a lot better. This offers almost like, this looks a whole lot like nothing and volatility at the same time. Just, I guess that was earnings. Would take earnings out, look where we're at, dead sideways, which is a normal characteristic of Amazon, to just be flat sideways. Like, if you look at it over a long term, Amazon loves this. Sideways, goes up, sideways. You guys are praying for a sideways move right now if you're down. But that's very normal for Amazon, which is why I like trading it. Didn't really care for it, investing in it, because it just feels like opportunity cost is like buying silver or gold. You just watch your money in a savings account. I guess I'd have to buy it. As long as it stayed above 94.85, I'd be long. Where would your entry be for Amazon, Google, and AMD? Harmon's like, I know you can't give financial advice, but give me 3 trades on these 3 tickers. I'd have to just probably buy it here and put my stop right there. That's that. What's up, dude? Some input on Bitcoin, weekly close above inverse head and shoulders. It's funny. Just because you said that and I laughed, I have to answer for you. I did talk about Bitcoin at the beginning of this stream, though. I'm pumped for it. I'll look at your little head and shoulders. Google. Is it finally coming back? I'd have to take a stab at Google. What I would like it to do is get some kind of volatility, pop down in the morning. The cheaper I get the shares, the better. My stop would be 98.85. And hopefully I can make that 105 mark on this. Likely that tags out on Tuesday. So that would tag out, and if that did, I'd wait for this. I'd buy it again at 96. As far as AMD goes, I don't know if I like this trade. It's like Nvidia. So this pushed up. So more green candles than red. Obviously, it's bullish. You want to go long. Is that the best entry? Obviously not. Do you really want to go short jumping on these tracks? Probably not the best play. Sometimes you can time out the perfect top, and that put makes the most sense. Oftentimes, you'll buy that put and rock this thing over, and you won't take your profit right here. You'll just disappear. You'll just lose money. So like that's why with Nvidia it pumped up like this, and I sold out of the money options contract. So I sold the calls because all the calls are juiced up. Every Wall Street bets kid is thinking it's going to go even higher. So I go out of the money there and just take their money. And that's probably what I would do with this. AMD, we're expecting a 660. So that puts us right there. I'd see if I could sell like I'd probably do a $2 spread, sell the 106, 108s. So let's do, what does that put us at? 106, so nothing. We would sell the 106, we would buy the 108s. We'd collect $22 per spread. So if you did 10 of those, it'd be 220 bucks. What are the deltas on that? Selling the 106s. You got an 85% chance you're going to keep all that kid's money. 15% chance you lose. It's a trade I'd probably, hopefully, collect money on in the, hopefully Tuesday pulls back. That'd be a green trade. I'd probably try to close it. You're probably opening yourself up to some risk if FOMC comes out to be a bullish reaction. How would you play Netflix with options, not shares, the same way? Hang on, after this I will do Bitcoin real quick. With options, you have FOMC this week and the Fed rate hike decision. So what I would do is I'd grab an in-out spread. Can we grab the 300s? And I'd go for this Friday and that'd be it. And the closest I can get to 250 bucks, the better. So there's no need to give it a whole lot of wiggle room. So there's 302s, but can I buy this one? Buy that one. I would sell the 305s. No. So let's delete that. I don't want to spend that much. So I would try to do this one. Maybe I'll buy that one. I'll sell the 3. So right there. Okay, so I'd spend $250. It's a $5 spread. Ideally, rule of thumb, you want to spend 50%. So I would spend the $250. If I was going to get aggressive with it, I'd put my order at $255, $5 more. And all Netflix has to do for that to be a 100% win is close Friday above there. So now honestly, FOMC can come out and knock that thing to 250, and then Friday comes around. Netflix says they're buying Disney, sends it all the way up. You spent 250 bucks, you'll make 250 bucks. I would have I would take this. So tomorrow I'd put my order bright and early in the morning, 255. I would put my sell order at 375, and then I would make 50% on the trade, and then I would just put good till cancel and see if it fills. You guys watching any of these trades right now? Chart them out and see. So the 15 trades I've called out on the stream, how many of you guys are actually going to chart them out and see how they panned out? If you're new here and you've never been here, you should do that real quick. And then if they're all green, you should come back and hit the subscribe button. And I can tell you how it works. Maybe not all of them. Let's just say over half. If over half are right, you're good. All right, so Bitcoin's got you said a weekly head and shoulders? Weekly close above an inverse head and shoulders. See on the weekly. Oh, it's like the kid fell off his bike or something. Is this his head? He's got like a really tight shoulder. He's got like a swag lean. Like, is this his other shoulder? Inverse head and shoulders. Like, did somebody draw head and shoulders out like this, like on like stock twits? Yeah, they just draw random curve lines. Like, that's it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really see that. But you know how I'll tell you how I trade Bitcoin. I watch the dollar because institutions, it looks like right now, they're hedging the dollar with Bitcoin. Remember the last time I had this conversation, Bitcoin was at 16,000. People couldn't wait to come in the comments and roast me about how I'm buying it at the all-time highs. And I said, they're hedging this I'm buying. If big money's buying, I'm buying. And then it went to almost 70,000, and they're doing it again. I don't really care what shape that is. I gotta be honest. Hopefully it pans out. Maybe if I ever draw Head and Shoulders, it looks like a Head and Shoulders. Not. I'm gonna assume this right here. Win rate doesn't matter. Risk management does. Kind of. I can probably argue about that. I went short gold stocks late Friday for 2 3-day trade. Did they look overbought to you? Gold is, if the dollar's selling off, gold should be up right now, right? Yeah, I would take a short gold trade too. Tommy, did any of that make sense? So, weekly move, right? Pushed up as far as Bitcoin goes. It's hard because Bitcoin, a lot of that is the Sunday and Saturday movement. If you take that off, you'll watch it line up perfectly with this right here. But watch some news come out on the watch the news come out on the US dollar and watch what happens to Bitcoin. Watch them real time. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, I'm sorry, I do have to hop over to my mentorship group. If you're curious about that, that's the Patreon level 2 link. That is everything. It's everything I'll ever do. But yeah, I go live with them every day. Also, they can annoy me in the chat all day long. Anyway, I gotta get to them. So hopefully you liked it. Hit the like and subscribe button. That actually really does help out right now. And if I got all those trades right, then you better hit the subscribe button, because being here was free. Now you're just gonna take a bunch of money. What are you gonna do with it? Hopefully turn into some more. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. Mentorship group, don't go anywhere. We're going live right now. Everyone else, you will see me for sure in the next few days. For sure Tuesday. I'm going to try to go tomorrow too.